Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am truly zonked, and oh my god, has spring sprung outside. It is like 66 degrees. I just came back from a 10-mile bike ride, and I've been sitting on the couch a lot this winter, so I'm a little sore. And I'm actually not in a survival game. We are in Satisfactory. And we have an update pending tomorrow that I've been putting off doing something about. In that, I am only ever started this game once, and I have nurtured a single playthrough through the entire history of this game. The primary reason is I've put a lot of work into unlocking all the technologies, acquiring all the alternate recipes, and I have literally hundreds of power shards scattered throughout my primary factory, which we're going to go over a brief tour of. And by brief, that's going to be a very relative statement there, because I already tried recording this once, and because of a Windows update, it kind of screwed up my recording settings, and so I got a whole bunch of recordings of my avatar running around the game and no narration. So we're going to start off with an overall aerial view, and we're just waiting for our buddy the moth to come by here. Now I'm up, I don't know what level. I think this is the 4th level up from my apartment. My factory, which is really kind of ambiguous because, you know, levels can be as tall or as short as you want them to be. And I've got this little areas painted here so that when he comes in, we can just hopefully hop right onto his head. Here he comes. Here we are. And we'll catch a ride. Let's turn off the HUD here. Alright, so we're just departing over the main factory floor here, and we'll go over a lot of that. We'll see there's an area down there. That's where my aluminum is being made. That's where I started. Well, actually, that was my second start for producing rubber and plastic. Down here, I have various fuel types being made, and let's see. Is the sun going up or down? It's going up. Okay. So we'll look down this way. There's really not a whole lot on this side to see. Well, there's a train station over there. We'll talk about that later. That pipeline, that was my initial oil feed when they... Well, actually, I was belting in oil way back when they just outputted it in cans. And then they implemented fluids, and I had to rebuild that. Is that backflowing? Oh, no. Oh, never mind. I had to redo it completely with pipeline. And that is a really rudimentary oil setup out there. That's out in the Mushroom Forest, if anybody's familiar with this game. And as our guide banks this way... I love taking this ride. It's silly, but I enjoy it. So there's our oil that goes in, and that feeds the oil refineries making the plastic and rubber. It is... Nothing about this factory, this primary factory here, is efficient. It's basically all being pressed to the max by power shards, and everything runs, you know, it's really not optimized at all. This factory actually was the second rebuild. It's been added on to quite a bit since, but yeah, I've built this primary factory 3 times. So as we're coming back over the factory, over there is our Christmas factory there, where it makes all the ornaments and everything. There's our plastic and rubber. Now that's a very basic plastic and rubber setup. We'll show you my main one later, which actually I never really even fully implemented into the build. Okay, so here's our Christmas shop, and there's my Christmas tree, and yeah, I actually had kind of not done much with this game for a while. I wasn't playing, you know, from I think September or October until the Christmas update, and then I played pretty steadily for a month just so I could get all the add-ons for that update. and I kind of slept on it for a while again. It's been about 3 months. So over there, that is my, I call it Caterium Town. And I have 4 nodes of Caterium being pipelined into there using the alternate recipe for the refineries for Caterium and also copper. And I've actually got some pretty efficient setups going on over there. Over here, I have my mass storage. It auto sorts. I'm pretty sure I've got everything set up here that I want to store. And I'll get to the main point of that in a moment. I mean, it's always good to have, you know, mass storage. And over here we've got the space elevator and my hub, of course. Here is a little annex that I've got. This is just making some quick wire, and also that little block of stuff makes gas masks and iodine cartridges. And I do have some doggos, and they're sitting there. Up that way, if you look towards the top there, I have I built a bunch. It was an experiment, and it mostly worked. I built a bunch of water pumps in the rivers in the plateau up top there in the pink forest. The idea was to have water come down and rely on pumps less. And for the most part, it worked. It's a little cumbersome, but it did the job. Here we've got a concrete plant, just kind of slapdash there. And where's he going now? So, okay. If we look down that way, there's my first batch of nuclear reactors is down there. I've got 6 of them. I do have 6 others somewhere else. In fact, actually, that train station takes goods out to that other batch of nuclear reactors. And down here, that's where I make the sulfuric acid for both of those. And that's this guy's complete loop. So we'll just walk backwards off him. Walking backwards. Oh, what happened there? Okay. Okay. Full disclosure, I am running a couple of mods. Nothing too dramatic, just some quality of life stuff. One of the ones that I'm using here is... Where is... Oh. Okay. I'm using the power suit mod to start with. And I've got my power suit mod decked out so that it's got a jetpack built into it, it's got hazmat built in, gas mask, it's got auto health regeneration, it's got shields, it's got your blade runners in multiple different fashions. So basically I run, you know, like crazy, and I can hover very easily, and yeah, it's just really, really good. Where am I going here? I meant to go this way. So we'll give you a little closer tour of the main factory. And the thing about this really is that this is a good buy. That episode is dropping tomorrow. All of this, aside from the fact it's really not very efficiently built, I'm tearing it all down. This was my first attempt at a bottom-fed factory. So on this floor, we've got copper going on here, we've got iron going on, just the ingots, and we've got steel over here. And we'll talk about the big glass case a little later. I'm going to try and buzz through this. Hopefully this is interesting to somebody. In any case, so yeah, I have all these smelters here, and they upload their ingots to the next level. And this level I have here all my iron rods, plates, reinforced iron rods. We've got screws being manufactured here. And I think modular frames are being built down here. Now this yellow belt work that I've set up here, this is to transport stuff to the mass storage. What I had been doing before, I had storage bins right near each little storage area, and that was fine, but I needed to clear out all of those and get them to the mass storage. So, and I got partway through that project, and I needed a break. So now if we go over this way, let's see, I think over here I've got, what's this, rotors being made? Nope, these are the steel ingots being turned into pipes and the girders. And over here, this is what I call Aluminum Town. And this was my first really reasonably balanced, you know, kind of annex. And it worked pretty well. It did what I wanted it to do, you know, based on what I could feed into it. And I kind of tweaked it, and you know, it did good. I was never short for all-clad aluminum sheets or heat sinks, which are being manufactured here. And let's see, did I empty this one yet? Yeah, that's empty. And so is that one then. Okay, so that is the aluminum annex. And let's see if we go up another level. What have we got? I can't even remember everything that I did here. Again, everything is being brought from the level just below it, up one. And I tried, and I'm going to try and reuse that pattern. But let's see, I've got some crystal shards being made over here to... what was this one making? Let's see, crystal shards. Oh yeah, those are going up to have some crystal oscillators being made. Oh boy, what have I got going on here? I can't even remember. What is this? Oh, circuit boards. So we've got the circuit boards, we've got crystal oscillators and other parts being fed into computers, which are being fed in multiple directions. Those are being taken upstairs. One of the things, I mean, this might look like spaghetti, but I'm actually kind of proud of what I did. It's relatively neat, and one of the things I was trying to really maintain was an open floor. I wanted to be able to run unobstructed and have all the belt work going on overhead. For the most part, that worked. So if we come down this way, let me see, what was I making over here? We were making these motors. I got motors, and these got to get transported out to the mass storage. And over on this little plant over here, these were making the, what are they? I forget what they're called. The automated wiring, smart plating, and versatile framework. Those were newer components that they added to the game. Oh, there's autosave. On autosave, thank you. And those were the components that you would feed into the space elevator to unlock higher technologies. And these get automatically fed into these manufacturers, which are making, what have I got? The adaptive control units and the modular engines. So both of these need to get piped over to the mass storage. I've got belt work in place, ready to start sucking that in. I just got to paint it yellow so I can remember what that line is there for. And then from here, we go up a level. And this is the highest production floor. And we've got, oh my god, we've got, let's see, crystal oscillators being made over here. This was my first attempt trying to use one of the advanced, is it the advanced one? I can't even remember now. I just needed more production of the crystal oscillators. And I've got batteries are being made over there. We have this one, I believe, is supercomputers. No, this is the high-speed connectors, which then leads into the supercomputers are being made over here. And I have lots of those stored away. And then on this side, we have the radio control units, which feed into these manufacturers, only one of which is even running right now. And these are making the turbo motors. And this really is the one main thing that I have going into an awesome sync right now. Let's see, I've got 86 coupons printed right now. Well, ready to print. I think I've got 200 and change stored already. I'm trying to save 1,000 for the golden nut. Hey, what are we talking about there? So let's go on to one of the other plants. Oops, if I can get down. Actually, first we'll take a spin down this way. I have a refinery making sulfuric acid here. And let's take the buggy for fun. So the sulfuric acid goes down this way. And I also have concrete being belted down, as well as the what is it, the magnetic control rods? I can't remember all the part names right now. And basically this was my first nuclear power plant. And it's a little uneven, but it does the job and it does it well. So I'm not going to pop out here, but here I have a half dozen nuclear power plants. They are all, fully loaded with nuclear control rods, nuclear fuel rods, that is. These green pipelines are power. I have them just colored green so that up there where the water feeds in from, it's an indicator that those pipes go to the nuclear plants. So up in here, now what I had done, the whole idea was that this area is already irradiated up here anyway from the uranium mine, or uranium resource node. And I was like, well, I gotta store nuclear stuff up here anyways, including the nuclear waste. So I might as well store it where it's already radioactive anyway. Now, you're going to hear the beeper going off here. My suit is completely protecting me from the radiation. I don't even need to change the iodine cartridges. The suit is maxed out for that. So here's my storage for the nuclear waste, and we've got quite a bit. We're not full, not by a long shot, but we've got a fair bit. And these were my initial storage for that, and everything's very dinky on this end here. And then I started seeing where I had to start scaling up. Otherwise, it mines the uranium here, and it makes everything. It mixes it with the concrete, and I'm not going to go over all the whole processes here. And eventually. What did I make 2 stacks of these? Oh, I did. So I have got oodles and oodles of nuclear fuel rods. And I've got concerns about how long those are really going to last me. I had an idea at one point to try making a train station. I'll talk more about that later. It did not work out. At least not the one in here. My original idea, it didn't pan out. So let's get back to the main factory. At some point in the future, I'll eventually get around to putting a hyper tube to take me down here. But then I wouldn't have any excuses to drive around in a buggy. Oh, did this buggy finally run out of fuel? Oh, that's funny. Oh, I don't even know how long ago I put in a nuclear fuel rod into this thing, and I've been riding on that thing for ever. So let's see. We'll take 1 battery. I really don't need a lot right now. Split that, and 1 battery right there. That's just fine for the moment. For the longest time, I even thought that a nuclear fuel rod in the buggy would last indefinitely. I learned later on, no, that was not the case, but it was for months, maybe even over a year. Not counting hiatuses from the game, of course, but so let's park this guy. Okay. So let's go on to the next plant. One of the modules for the power suit is hypertube acceleration. I am not using any accelerators or boosters there. That was all the power suit. Let's see. So this is my Caterian town. And damn it, I didn't want to go up that one. Come on. Did I have one? Oh, it doesn't matter. So here, this was my first real attempt at trying to maximize production. And actually, I mean, it works. It works great. I have 4 normal Caterium nodes belting in here on Mark V belts. I have 100% usage of all of it. And of making them, you know, I'm using the alternate recipe for the most efficient use of Caterium ingots. And it produces more than I can use, or at least at this stage of the game. And if we go up here, what I had started doing was I had started splitting some of that off and using, again, alternate recipes. Was making tons of quick wire over here. Oh god, I can't even remember everything. So we've got, oh yeah, we're also making copper down there, and taking the copper, turning that into ingots. And is that right? I forget everything I'm doing around here. Hold on. Oh, right, because that's taking the copper ore, oops, excuse me, and the iron ore. And at least at the time I built this, that was the most efficient copper ingot recipe. And then over here, I have this blasting out quick wire, not quick wire, but regular copper wire. And I think I was making cable also. Yeah, there's the cable. And again, these were all trying to use maximum efficiency. There's no power shards going on over here. There might be just a couple here and there, just to try and round up some of the production. But otherwise, I mean, the goal was to create these without using power shards and just use the base productivity. So let's pop back down here, and we'll continue on to the next plant. And we'll pass through this bottom level here. This is all the pumps for the refineries upstairs. Let's get past here. Again, I'm just using the accelerator built into the power suit. This hypertube makes a little loop around here, but it gets the job done here. This was also this is my first primary oil refinery. And, oh, is the sun going down? I have all 4 nodes with Mark III miners here, fully, well, not fully overclocked, but using the full, well, again, at the time that I built this, capacity of 300 cubic meters per second. That one actually goes directly to the main factory. This doesn't go to this particular refinery plant here. But what I had done is let me go up a floor. A couple floors, actually. I mean, I'm sure what I did was nothing terribly original, but I had come up with, a very efficient layout where I take the oil and I pump it into 10 refineries, and then that turns it into, what am I making here again? Oh yeah, the plastic and the, oh, that's why. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. The heavy oil residue is what I really wanted from these. And so the heavy oil residue then feeds into this row of refiners, which get bundled up with water. And, oh, I forget how it all works out. Now, those make bottled water. The bottled water goes with the heavy oil residue, and that makes the packaged fuel. And then these row of refiners, and this is what I always kind of like bugged me, is I had to make packaged fuel and then make another row of refiners to simply unpackage it into a pipelinable form. And then from here, I have a very carefully laid out network here of alternate recipes using plastic and rubber, which take the one base level of plastic that I output from one, and then from one refinery, and then it sends it and splits it into 2 refineries, which turns that into rubber, and then each of those 2 refineries splits that into 4 refineries, turning it into plastic, and so on and so forth, until we get out to this other side here, where I just make an ungodly amount of rubber and plastic. Now, I'm Kibitz. That guy he builds monstrosities, and I'll admit, I've definitely, gotten some ideas from his videos and implemented them. But in any case, so the thing is all these recipes, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are going to change. All of this stuff has got to come down. I'm going to tear this all apart, and it hurts me to think about it, because as I built this, I mean, it got better and better, and my technique got better as I went. And it's just gonna, it's gonna hurt, but the rebuilding will be fun. So let's get back down here. And we'll go back to the main plant. Okay, so back at the main plant. And again, none of this is terribly efficient. I've never been that kind of guy. I'm happy if it works, but I have gotten better as I go. So, all right, so that train station there, that is for the purpose of taking concrete, sulfuric acid, and other materials down here. Because if you're familiar with the map, you'll know where I'm going, and this is the second uranium node. And this is my high overland expressway to get over there, because I really didn't feel like making a hypertube that just had to wiggle through, oops, other way, stop, all the terrain and trees and everything. Oops, and that brings me all the way down, which I didn't really need to go to. So here's the other end of that train loop, and that's really the most elaborate train thing that I've done so far. And it brings everything in here, and this one, I'm not going to bother going in the cave, but basically it does the same thing. I've got all the production and waste storage built on the inside of that, of the cave system that's in here, and I have all the suit doesn't climb terribly quickly. I have all my water being pumped from up here, and these all feed this half dozen refineries here, and I do pretty good for power. What am I looking at right now? Yeah, so I've got 30.6 gigawatt capacity, and I'm using at the moment between 5 and 6. I think I've gotten as high as 15, and that's if I turn on like everything. So in any case, that's not even really the big thing out here that I wanted to highlight. So over here, I'd had this brilliant idea, which I was doing, I got pretty far with, but then once I got news of the pending updates, I'm like, oh, well, that kind of, poops all over everything that I've got here. And again, I just don't want to restart the playthrough. I've got so much done and invested. I'd rather just keep everything that I've got and rebuild. I am going to have to install one additional mod, and that is, I think it's called Area Effects, where you could like do mass deletions of things. So in any case, this plant here, the original idea was that I wanted a single belt feed, a Mark V 780 pieces per minute feed of uranium. And then from there, I would take 100% capacity usage of that and build every single component used for the nuclear power here. This is going to be a self-contained factory. So all the sulfuric acid I need is over here because sulfur is being belted in. And I've got all my quick wire. And I've got circuit boards. And everything else is being made here. And I got pretty far in this. And was working. I had a spreadsheet done up that really broke it all down and basically said, okay, if you have 780 parts per minute feed of uranium, what's the maximum amount of nuclear fuel rods you can build? And I don't remember the number, but it was absurd. It was a lot. If you, and this would provide all the components to take 100% usage of that. And what I calculated was that I could support over 220 nuclear reactors at full capacity. Then what I was going to have doing is I was going to have a train that was going to make stops at both uranium nodes and shuttle them here and then empty into one container that would be perpetually flowing that 780 parts of uranium per minute. And I got pretty far. And it's all worked. You know, this is, you know, everything, all about, this is 100% efficiency, if not more. And I just kind of, I needed a break from the game, and that was probably back in September or October, I think. I got back into the game for a little while for the Christmas update, and then I just needed another break from it. But now the update hits tomorrow, and what I want to do is I want to finish packaging all the stuff that I have stored back at the main plant, and we're going to head back there now, and put it all in the mass storage. And I have the mass storage set up in such a way, where if any of those containers get topped out, any overflow gets looped around and goes to the sink. And I want to finish that job up today. And yeah, and then let the game run overnight. So I have all that overflow just dumping into the sink and see how many tickets I get from that. I'm still a long way off from the 1,000 tickets for the Golden Nut. I think maybe I'll make that my new nickname. Hi, I'm Golden Nut. Welcome back to my channel. Is that alright? So, in any case, alright. This has been a 35-minute video of near constant rambling here. And again, yeah, this is mostly a goodbye to the plant as I know it here, because it's all coming down. I'm going to take apart the whole thing. So I hope I didn't chew your ear off too badly. I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll come back and watch some more Satisfactory videos with me. Until then, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. And until next time, stay healthy and take care out there.